Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erin and I do mostly budgeting videos like the one you're about to see here. Spending some time with me. If you are new here and you enjoy budgeting channels that use real numbers and check in on paydays and talk about goals and savings, this may be a channel that you enjoy, so I would love if you stuck around and decided to subscribe. So in today's video, we are going to wrap up our monthly bill payments for August. All right. So I knew that sentence could come out. I just wasn't sure in what order those words were going to come out. All right. So we have the rest of the money that we need to pay August bills, and it's organized and ready to go. So we'll recount it together because I like to double check everything, because a lot of times when I'm in the process of doing a video, or even when I'm just starting to double check things, I realize something is off. So that happens to me quite often. So we're going to be using my pink calculator, which matches my pink tulle notebook cover, which is my budget binder or budget planner. So the worksheets that you're going to see are my own design, and you can find those in my Etsy shop, or you can find June's budget kit still down below. If you haven't gotten it and still want to get your hands on something that you can print out yourself at home, that may be something that you would be interested in, so check that out. All right, so we are going to flip to the month of July, and I'll show you just a little sample of what my budget kit looks like. So this is like the cover basically, and then we get into the worksheets that I've been using over the past few weeks and stuff, and this has all of my pertinent information as far as paychecks and variable expenses, savings, so on, so forth, and all that good stuff. So in today's video, we are going to create a new clean monthly budget sheet, and this is going to list all of my monthly bills. So these are my fixed expenses. These are bills that are due every single month. They are really, for the most part, not optional. I guess we could get rid of cable or internet, but that's really not an option for us personally. So everything that you're about to see here is kind of obligatory. So these are all things that we either have to pay or we've elected to make them part of our fixed expenses in life, in this life. All right, so the first thing we have is our mortgage, and like a lot of people, you may have a mortgage, you may have a rent, and at this point, I think the people who are paying rent are probably paying more than people who are paying mortgages for the most part, and rent seems to be still skyrocketing and off the charts, if you can even find a place to rent. Same goes for the real estate market. It's almost impossible to find a house to buy. So for instance, there is a house for sale on our street currently, and it went up for sale. I want to say they put the sign out maybe in the evening, because I know that morning I didn't notice it. They're kind of catty corner from where we live. And I looked up the house on Zillow because I'm nosy, and that's what I do. So if one of my neighbors is selling their house, short of knocking on the door and saying, can I take a quick peek, I'm definitely going to go on Zillow and check out the pictures. So I go on Zillow, and I'm not even joking, it was contingent. And I'm like, what? Like, this just went up. So it just goes to show you, the price of things is still skyrocketing, but people are willing to pay more. I'm trying to write this down at the same time, and that's why I'm struggling with my words. So people are willing to pay more. People are, sometimes gouging people when it comes to rent or the price of a house. The price that they were asking for this particular house on our street was not out of line. I didn't think so at all. And I'm sure that whoever, snatched it right up probably agreed. They probably thought they were getting a steal. But I do know that it was an elderly woman who lived there, and, maybe they just wanted to get it over with and sell it, for who knows. But anyway, so that was the case. But yeah, contingent, the same day it went up for sale. And who knows, that might have been a multiple offer situation. That's what people are running into, and that's what drives up the price even more. If you have people who have competing what did I say? Competing? Is that right? Why doesn't that sound right to me? Competing bids. you know, and then they try to outbid each other. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're above asking and you have to make the decision. Is this house worth more than they're asking? You know, it's just, I don't know, it's hard. So anyways, all right, so I'm going to put down my amounts. Here's where it gets juicy for some people. Everybody likes to see the real numbers, and I'm one of them. So $600 for our mortgage. Now, that being said, we have our homeowner's insurance separate, and we also have our taxes separate. So a lot of times when you see somebody listing their mortgage payment, those things are already in there as well. So they're just in something called escrow. And I decided to take that money for taxes and homeowners insurance out of escrow because I thought, why should they be holding my money and making interest on it? Not that I'm going to, you know, it's like almost impossible today to make interest on anything. But at the same time, I thought, what the heck, you know? I mean, they shouldn't have it if just hold on to it. I mean, when you're a bank and you have that much money and you have that much investing power, I mean, yeah, it does add up. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to have escrow anymore. And I trust myself at this point not to, you know, spend the money or go through it or not save it or not do what I'm supposed to do. I can be trusted. I can trust myself, I should say. So I was like, no, I don't want escrow anymore. So I had to fill out applications for that. And then they had to go through an approval process. And so here we are. And I'm so happy that we did it. So what do we got here? All right, 400. All right, so you're seeing some other line items. I'm going to go through all these and give you an explanation if you need be. All of these numbers are rounded up to the nearest dollar or the nearest $5. But for the most part, it's the nearest dollar. Like this car is $3.97 and change. So you can tell it's not rounded up dramatically, but I am rounding up. I just want to make sure that I'm writing these numbers down correctly because watch me screw it up. 215. Cable and internet is obnoxious. It's obnoxious. I think that they are so out of line anymore. And we have a monopoly cable system where we don't have a choice in our provider. So we could go, you know, Dish Network. We could go, you know, Roku or streaming or something like that. But we don't. I don't know. We just don't. All right. So let's look at these numbers. So 600 is our mortgage. And like I said, that does not include our property taxes, which are $300 a month. And it also does not include our homeowner's insurance, which is $130 a month. So all those things added together, if this was somebody typical who was making a mortgage payment, you would see 600 plus 300 plus 130, and you would see a mortgage payment of $1,030, which sounds more accurate. You know what I mean? It sounds more realistic. So we have those items. Car insurance, this is for both of our cars, and we do have full coverage on both because they are leases. Cell phones, $185. I know this is sickening. I mean, it's just so expensive, but it is what it is. So here we go. Homeowner's insurance, like I said, $130. Car lease number 1 is $320. Car lease number 2 is $400. You can see I have GM here. We just have General Motors. That's who we pay our bills to. And that being said, you know, to get these numbers today, if you were to go buy a car today, you literally could not get this low of a price. It's so difficult to find vehicles right now. I know some places they don't have any cars. My brother lives you know, in Illinois, and he's like, we don't have any cars. Like, there's just nothing to buy. All right, so which is also driving the price up of cars, whether you're buying or leasing. We like leasing. We've been leasing for a long time. It seems like when our leases are over, we're ready to change cars. I mean, not because we have to, but I will also say that in the beginning, when we had so much debt, leasing was really practical for us because it was less expensive. If we tried to buy the same cars, our car payments would be enormous because you would have to fit them into, you know, standard like 60 months. I think the maximum is 72 months. And the prices were just astronomical. So it was always economical for us. And now we just do it. Electric, $100. I know this is going up because I've heard people in my community talking about these surprise electric bills. So I'm keeping fingers crossed. Same with gas. Gas is increasing. Cable and internet, $215. So this is also an obnoxious price. But like I said, if we want traditional cable, run to our house locally, and it's not like, through an out of town or out of state streaming service, we only have one choice. So it's just under, it's like $213.39. And then our water is average $100. I think this is going to be a little bit more for August because we had to put a little bit more water into our pool. I don't know how it evaporated, but it did, maybe because it's so hot. But it might be a little bit of a higher bill in August. And then trash, $25. So until recently, I was making a trash payment every 3 months, but this bill went up to, it was $60 and now it's $75, or just like, I think it's $74 something. But anyways, I thought, well, you know what? I could put the money aside, every month and just pay it every 3 months. I don't know what I'm going to do. So let's add all these bills up and you guys will see what our fixed expenses cost every single month. So we have $600 plus $300 plus $125 plus $185 plus $130 plus $320 plus $400 plus $100 plus $120 plus $215 plus $100 plus $25. So $2,620 in fixed expenses. And we are a 2-person household, in case you're wondering. So I'm going to write that down here. So $2,620. Now here's where the fun part comes in. I don't know if the cash that I have put aside is going to equal this exactly. I hope so, because I started this at the beginning of July. I started putting money aside for August, and I did that. I'm not going to go through it, but for the majority, the money came from our first pays at the beginning of July for August. Now we pay our bills a month in advance. The majority of our pay for this month at the beginning on the 1st, so I had enough to cover all of August bills, and then July's bills, the month we're in currently, were paid in June, so on and so forth. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make cash envelopes for the rest of the line items that we have to stuff. All right, through the magic of editing. All right, so what I've already stuffed is car insurance, taxes, cell phones, mortgage, and that's it. So we have all these other envelopes that we need to stuff. Now, I'm going to be doing a separate video for subscriptions. And you might be wondering, why are you keeping a separate binder for subscriptions? And why are you not lumping them all together? Because that would be the easier thing to do. And it's because I think our subscriptions sometimes might be getting a little bit out of hand. And I want to separate them because if I decide to get rid of something, like Netflix would be the first to go for me, I want to make sure that I am doing it in a mindful way and I'm realizing the savings. So if I see Netflix envelope is empty every month and I know that I'm saving, I think it's like $12 or $13 now, I'm gonna feel that's like a good visual for me. Like that's gonna make me feel good, you know? Okay, we don't have to stuff this anymore. But you know what I mean? It's just sometimes like budgeting and like organizing your money and the way you make payments and the time of the month you make payments, sometimes it's all about the psychology too. So it's what you feel good doing. So let's check in with ourselves, right? So for mortgage, we should have $600 in here already stuffed. Sorry, that's not mortgage, this one is. All right, so we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 550, 570, 575. When I say 600, our actual mortgage payment is 571.18. Why did I write 600? See, okay, here's where we're wrong. This should be 575 because our mortgage payment is $571.18. So I should have $575. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 550, 570, 575. Okay. So now I'm back on the correct page and what I was thinking. All right, so that is our mortgage payment ready to go. So you're probably wondering, what are you doing with all this money? Why do you have all this cash at home? Why don't you just leave it in the bank? It's because I like to do these videos. It's because I like to organize the money. I like to have everything ready to go. And when I'm ready to go pay these bills, like I will all at once at the end of this month, I even prepay some things that I don't get bills for yet. I just go ahead and make the payments. I will have this whole binder. I will be able to put this back in my bank account at once and then make all the payments from there electronically. So I know it probably seems counterproductive and you guys are probably like, what in the heck are you doing that for that way? But it's so I can make these videos and so I can feel organized using a cash-based system. I didn't always used to do that. And over quarantine, I wasn't doing it at all. And you guys saw my channel really suffered because I just wasn't dealing it in cash. Not that cash is the only way you can budget, but I just really wasn't set up to do any type of videos electronically for you guys. And I just let this channel just like go right down the toilet. All right, so $300 I have for taxes. So that's already in there. And then car insurance, let's flip back there, $125. So I'm sure that's how much I have in here. So $120, $125. And then taxes, $300. So I'm going to be stuffing these particular envelopes throughout August for September. So taxes, I have $300. And I will be keeping you guys updated on when I do that because I won't always be doing it just twice or, you know, at the beginning of the month or whatever. It really depends on how our paydays fall. So I will be keeping you guys updated and stuffing as I have the money for September. So this is just a permanent feature on my channel now. All right, so let's go down the line. And the next thing we have to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, is homeowners insurance. All right, so we need $130. I think we should have $1,400. What? I don't know. Let's see how much we have here. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 657, 758, 859, 950, 1,000, 51, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 80, 94, 410, 415, and 420. So $1,420 we have left to stuff. All right. So homeowners insurance, we should have $130. So I believe, if I'm correct, I should have a $100 bill, a $20 bill, and a $10 bill. And that gives us $130. All right, so we are good with homeowners. And I'm wondering, you know what? This might be too difficult for you guys to see. So let me take these out one at a time so you can actually see what it says. All right, so car payment number 1 is $320. So we're gonna do 100, 200, 300, and 20. And I hope I'm doing the denominations correctly. I hope it ends up working out in the end anyway, regardless, but I should have written down, like, I need $300 bills for that and one $20 bill, but I didn't. Anyways, all right, so that is car payment number 1, and we'll go ahead and put that. Now, car payment number 2, we need, I think, 2 100s, and then 51, 52. So we have 100, 200, 253, 350, and 400. So we need $400 for that payment. And put that in there. And I'm stuffing off camera. Hello. Ugh. All right, gas, 120. So let's go ahead and put, let's see, 51 and then 20. And that will be for gas. Now, I'm talking about the utility gas, not gas for our car. Gas for our car is filed under variable expenses for us. So, you know, it can change sometimes. It could be the same. Lately, I mean, for the most part, we stuff the same, but you know, it just depends. It depends on prices. It depends on how much we're driving. All right, so electric is 100. So I'm just gonna put down 250s. I hope I'm doing this right. If I'm not, I'm gonna have to go back. Ugh. All right. So we've got electric stuffed. This is actually kind of fun doing it this way. So cable / internet, we need $215. So 51, 20, 40, 60, 82, 210, 215. So 51, 20, 40, 60, 82, 210, 215. And that will be our cable / internet. Let's see. All right, so that's in there awkwardly, but it's in there. All right, so we're putting that in the binder. And then water is $100. And I know I'm gonna need to add more to this, 20, 40, 60, 81, because typically what I do is I pay this ahead of time before the bill even comes out, and sometimes it's a little bit extra. But I know this time, if I pay it early, I'm also gonna realize that I didn't pay enough. And then trash is going to be 25. And as life would go, I have a $10 bill left and I don't know why. See, I did something wrong. I tell you guys, every time I do this, I do something wrong. All right. Oh, I don't know why. I don't know why I have this $10 bill. But you know what? I'm not going to even bother with it. I'm going to have to go through it again and make sure that I have enough in every envelope, because I'm sure somebody is missing a $10 bill. And if not, that means I just figured it wrong. But I don't think I did. All right. So we have car insurance. Let's go down the line. Car insurance, $125. We have our taxes stuffed at $300. We have cell phones stuffed at $185. We have mortgage stuff at $575. We have homeowners insurance at $130. We have car payment number 1 at $320. We have car payment number 2 at $400. We have gas at $120. We have electric at $100. We have cable and internet at $215. We have water at $100. And then we have trash at $25. And if I overestimated and this $10 bill is extra, I'm literally going to go to Panera or what am I in the mood for? I'm gonna go to Panera. I'm gonna get an everything bagel, a large iced tea, and that's enough. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do with this. If it ends up being extra, I'm gonna have to go over it off camera because nobody has time for my mistakes. So here we go. I love this. I absolutely love this. So there's a couple things I love about it. I love it because it's so complete. All my money is in here for my entire month's worth of fixed expenses. It feels so good. I'm ahead of the game. I've been ahead of the game since the pandemic happened and we got the stimulus money. That's what we used it for, to pay our bills a month in advance. We've been doing it ever since that way. And I just feel like really organized when this is all ready to go. So at any point now, between now and the end of the month, I can go deposit this all into my bank and I can start making those payments for August. I like to have all the payments made by the time the first of the month hits. It's like, again, it's a psychological thing. I don't want it to be the second of the month where I'm still making payments. I want it to be all done by the first of the month. So I'm super excited about this. So $26.20, but this isn't actually right. So we're gonna do $575 because I actually added $600 in that. So $300, $125, $185, $130, $320, $400, $100, 120, 215, 100, 25, 25.95. And as per usual, as per OCD, I will have to print out a new sheet like this and rewrite some things since I wrote them wrong. And that's just the mental side of me. I don't know why I'm like that, but I am. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. I know this was a super long video, but you know what? This is a super large and important part of my budget every month, and I wanted to make sure that I went over it thoroughly and that we are all on the same page together. And maybe this will inspire you to use one of these worksheets to organize your monthly bills. Down here at the end of the month, I can go back and I can put all my variable expenses. So I can put groceries in the total amount, I can put miscellaneous, the total amount, gas, the total amount, and I can do that. So this actually becomes a nice archival quality sheet to go back in my budget and see an overall snapshot of the entire month without having to dig through all my weekly worksheets, which are so helpful to me on a weekly basis. But this monthly budget worksheet is where it's at. This is where all the information ends up, and it's, you know, a total of everything that happened. So if there's one sheet that I couldn't live without, it's this one. So anyways, again, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you haven't already subscribed, I would love if you stuck around and did so. Thank you so much for your views, for your comments, for your support, for your kindness. And as always, I hope I see you guys in my next video. Take care.